Good evening. I'm going to go ahead and start the Planning Commission meeting, call it to order. I'd like to make an announcement. I know it is hot in here, and we thank you for your patience. The air conditioner is off, so there have been some fans that have been brought in. So thank you for that. Commissioner Garcia, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you. Ms. Blancas, can I have roll call, please?
Yes. Chair Sherrick.
Present.
Vice Chair Quill.
Present.
Commissioner Daly is currently absent. Commissioner Lopez is not present. Commissioner Ivan Garcia.
Present.
Commissioner Galandi.
Present.
Commissioner Pratt.
Present.
Commissioner Carloni is not present. Commissioner Orlando Garcia.
Present.
Thank you. Public comments for items listed and not listed on the agenda. At this time, public comments will be heard for the item on the agenda or not on the agenda, excluding public hearing items. To address the Planning Commission, everyone must complete a speaker card and provide it to the Planning Commission clerk. Only those speaker cards turned in to the Planning Commission clerk will be allowed to address the Planning Commission. Each person should state their name for the record. A 3-minute limitation shall apply to each member of the public who wishes to address the Planning Commission on any item on the agenda or not on the agenda, excluding public hearings. There is not a limit to the number of items that may be discussed within the 3-minute limit. Do we have interpretation or no? Spanish, not at this time? Okay, thank you.
And for the record, there wasn't any request for Spanish interpretation at any time within the 48 hours or prior to that.
Thank you. Ms. Blancas, can you please conduct the administration of oath for our public speakers?
Yes. If you will be speaking tonight, if I can have you please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give before this body will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak on a matter that is not on the agenda, that is on the agenda or not on the agenda, excluding the public hearing? I didn't have any speaker cards for item 1 or 2.
No, that's correct.
The next is the consent calendar. Consent items are routine in nature and may be enacted in one motion. All consent items shall be considered at one time unless an item is pulled for questions or discussion by any member of the Planning Commission. Staff, are there any updates to the consent calendar?
No, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any Planning Commissioners have any requests to pull an item for questions or discussion? No. I have an item. I'd like to pull item number 2. Can I have a motion to adopt item number 1 on the consent calendar?
Motion.
Second.
If we can use the mic, please, I apologize.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Chair Sherrick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill,
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Galande,
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Do we have a staff report for item number 2? Or, a presentation?
As it was a consent item, we don't have a formal presentation, no PowerPoint of any kind, but we can speak very briefly about it, just to introduce it. So item number 2 this evening is a request to find conformance with the city's adopted general plan for the fiscal year 25-26 capital improvement program. This item, the CIP here, was just adopted, just for the record, with the budget at last week's council meeting. There is a requirement here, and what brings us forward this evening is the Government Code Section 65401 that requires we prepare the coordinated improvement program. Also requires that the Planning Commission make a finding of general plan conformance. Unfortunately, typically we would bring that forward to you before the meeting. There were some timing issues that just did prohibit that, unfortunately, but we have conferred with council, and it is still appropriate if the finding is made afterwards. We just have to do both for the record. I apologize. I don't have a specific program or specific presentation to get into the details of the program. That was more for last week's meeting. But I can put it up if you did have you said you had some questions.
I did have a question.
Yes.
I noticed, and perhaps I missed it, but the money that was collected in lieu of fees, specifically for Fifth Street that were conditioned, I didn't see those programmed in the CIP.
I am now going to bring up our Public Works Director. I believe he may be better
Thank
suited
you.
to speak to that than I would. Thank you.
As far as the Lynn Merrill Public Works Director, as far as the in lieu fees, we don't have a specific CIP item that would address that, and I don't have any further information. Azam Jabsha would be the one that would be able to answer that question, Madam Chair, and he is on vacation, so.
So could we get an answer
Yes,
back
we
for
could.
that?
Yes, we could after the fact, absolutely.
Okay. Is there any other questions by the commission? Do you have any questions? No? Any questions? No? Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the CIP? Or the consent item
Yes,
number 2?
So our recommendation this evening would be to adopt. There was a resolution prepared. This is Resolution 2025-033. That would be to find the general plan or the CIP, excuse me, in conformance with the general plan, subject to your motion.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve pending that answer.
Is that I think we have to, do we have to say the resolution name? Do you need the
Can say just
staff's
for
recommendation?
staff's recommendation. That
Okay.
would be acceptable.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill,
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Galande,
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. And we'll get an answer next meeting? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The Planning Commission will now hear from staff on public hearing items. The public hearing will be open. The applicant will have an opportunity to speak, and then members of the public will be allowed to speak. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak must be sworn in and fill out a request to speak form. The forms are located on the table near the door to my right. That would be your left. When your name is called, please come forward and speak your name into the microphone. Say and spell your name for the taped record. After all have spoken, the applicant will be allowed to respond, and the public hearing will then be closed, and Planning Commission will begin deliberations and make a decision. All decisions except general plan amendments at the municipal code amendments are final actions unless an appeal is filed and fees paid within 15 days to the Community Development and Housing Department. If you challenge the resulting action of the Planning Commission in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing described in this agenda or in written correspondence delivered to the Community Development and Housing Department at or before the public hearing. Item number 3, please.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. I'm Chantel Choi, Senior Planner with the Planning Division. I'm here to present item number 3, Conditional Use Permit 25-05. Conditional Use Permit 25-05 is a request to convert an existing Motel 6 into a recuperative care facility located on a parcel containing approximately 1.79 acres, located at 1960 Ostrom's Way within the Commercial General 1 zone. The subject site is located within the Commercial General 1 zone. It is surrounded by other parcels that are within the Commercial General 1 zone to the north, south, east, and to the west, and to the east we have the 215 freeway. Here we have the project site is currently developed with the Motel 6. To the north, we have a retail shop, gas station, and restaurant. To the east, to the west, we have a restaurant as well. And to the south is a self-storage facility. And to the east, we have our 215 freeway. The proposed project will consist of converting the existing motel into a recuperative care center. The center will offer short-term post-hospitalization and recuperative care services to clients in need. Clients are referred to the center by a healthcare provider or a hospital. Recuperative care services are provided to clients for a period of 90 days. Once the 90-day terms has ended, clients are provided with the option to utilize secure housing for a period of 6 months. The facility partners with housing programs to assist clients in finding permanent housing. There will be support staff and security on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There will be approximately 25 staff members for the facility. The facility will have approximately 200 beds for clients. There will be 3 meals offered to the patients a day, and these meals are catered by local vendors. No direct medical care will be given to the patients, such as prescribing medicine, diagnosis of or treatment of illness, and laboratory testing will not be provided. Staff members will provide support to the clients by reminding them to take their meds, helping them with any directions that the doctors have given them, and also transporting them to and from follow-up appointments. The clients are 100% ambulatory. Arrangements are made by the facility and those that have recommended the patients to transfer them to the facility. The project has direct ingress and egress access from 2 existing driveways along Ostrom's Way. The project site provides 105 parking spaces, including 5 ADA parking spaces. Clients will be transferred to the site by transportation services arranged by the facility as previously mentioned. The center will consist of approximately 25 staff members. Therefore, the parking that is provided will be sufficient for the use. Here we have the subject site from Ostrom's Way. This is the site plan. There will be no changes to the site layout at all. These are client rooms from other locations of the facility. This is what they're proposing to do at the proposed location. Here we have the lounge room that they're proposing as well. These are the elevations. No exterior renovations or anything will be done to the existing building. It will remain the same, except for the signs. Of course, they will go away because they are looking to take over the entire Motel 6. So the Motel 6 will change to the recuperative care facility. Here we have the east and west elevations. Today, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-027, finding the project categorically exempt pursuant to section 15301, existing facilities in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving conditional use permit 25-05 based on the findings of facts and subject to the recommended conditions of approval. The applicant is here to answer any questions that the commissioners may have. I did want to read in a correction for the reso. There were some changes to the conditions of approval. I had to update condition number 7. It will read, client/patient drop-off shall occur between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. daily, with drop-off only occurring after hours in case of an emergency. Also for condition 41, a traffic scope form will be needed to be filled out and signed and provided to traffic. And that concludes staff presentation.
Thank you. I don't have a speaker card for the applicant. I just have one speaker. Does the applicant wish to speak?
Yes, they do.
Thank you. Oh, is that Elizabeth? Okay.
Chair Sherrick, did you already open the public hearing?
I did not, thank you. But I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:15-ish. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Elizabeth?
Hello, everyone.
Turn your mic on. Thank you.
That would be helpful. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and public in attendance. First of all, I'd like to just say thank you to Chantel. I feel like I have nothing else to add. She did an amazing job, so thank you so much for all the work. We bring to you just a little bit more of an overview of what the recuperative care program is and what NHHA is and what we do. We actually have here some of our staff and our NPO partners. Please raise your hand. That are here in attendance. I include WPCC, which is Whole Person Care and Encompass Housing. We work hand in hand with them on all the campuses that we have to ensure that we have wraparound services that go along with our recuperative care program. Just to highlight a few features that we have that are Recoup that I think really set us apart from any other organizations doing this type of work is one, which is very important, is our stabilization and safety counselors. We have recognized through many years of experience that, having a dedicated team of people that not only have a focus on the safety of the staff and of the site, but also can provide support services to case management, to people that are doing, medical coordination, to people that are doing behavioral health services. We have a program that's inclusive of 2 weeks of intense training that's completed by Dr. Chow, which is our Chief Innovation Officer. And that training is inclusive of de-escalation, of ensuring clients understand what boundaries are, HIPAA is, legal compliance. So all of these services are important to us. And one feature that's very important, as we know, having a site like this provides a lot of services. With that has to come a lot of oversight as well to ensure that, we're being good neighbors to everybody in the community. So that's a process that we created and we developed internally. Some other features that we have as well is also transportation. We have 2 vans that are purchased and they will provide transportation to all clients on and off the site. Clients are not able to self-refer or come to the program and ask to be part of it. They do need to be referred by hospitals. So hospitals, once they send us a referral, they go through an assessment process to ensure that clients are eligible for the program and appropriate. Once clients come to our program, that's where they're now able to receive all of the wraparound services with the ultimate goal of being able to transition them into housing. And our first priority is also having a really clear communication with the clients and really involving them in what is their care plan and what does their exit destination look like. There are some clients that come to us and they're ready. They're ready to work a plan. They're ready to, what are the next steps and follow that where, it could be family reunification. It could be going into a housing. And some clients that may not be ready for that, then we do transition into a setting like a shelter where that may be what's appropriate for them at that moment. So we want to make sure that what we have in the service, we have our people that are ready to be able to transition into housing or a next step. Any other questions? That's it.
Thank you. Are there any questions by the commission? I'm going to start on this end and we'll go. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
I was on the property today, and I noticed that there appears to be medical services being offered on the property right now. That has nothing to do with your company, does it?
No, we
Okay.
have, we currently have about 20 people there. They're under short-term post-hospitalization, but there is no medical coordination happening on our end.
Okay. And then my other question, well, I have a couple. Timeline, when will the facility be ready to operate?
So we're not going to be doing any type of TIs or renovation to the space. So as soon as we are able to get access to the space, and we'll start moving in the furniture that we need. So within a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I was having a hard time hearing you, but there's going to be substantial security on site, I assume?
There is.
Because there are.
We have two, at the very least, two on-site security 24/7.
Okay.
Can you move the mic down maybe a little bit? There we go. Maybe that'll be helpful.
Okay.
So it appears right now, based on my visit today, that there are people that are living there on at least a semi-permanent basis. Is there a plan for relocating them or?
So right now, and again, that's a plan with the owner. So there are people that are there that maybe just people that have been there for a while, so we'll work with them. We don't want to displace anybody. So as they transition out, we'll take over some of the rooms. So that would be a plan, definitely with the owner.
Thank you.
Just a quick correction, I believe this is Ward 5 and not Ward 6 on the agenda. It says Ward 6. Your referrals, where exactly are your referrals coming from?
We work with IEHP and directly with hospitals.
Okay, all right.
With hostels?
Hospitals, not hostels, no.
And your staff, can you share a little bit more about your staff and their experience?
Of course. Yes, so our staff as NHHA, we do have Dr. Chow, and we have some people here that can speak to their experience, but there's over 20, a lot of us have over 20 years of experience in the housing and healthcare arenas. With our NPOs, they each have their expertise. So Encompass Housing, they very much focus on housing retention and housing navigation. There's many projects that they have currently in the city, people they're already supporting in the city, which also they're doing work in Orange County and Long Beach. So that's one of the NPOs that we're working with that will be providing services out of the site. There's another organization called WPCC, which is Whole Person Care. Their expertise is the medical coordination piece, and they also have a chief medical officer, they have RNs, they have LVNs, so they have access to that expertise on their end, and we all work together.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that security will be there 24/7, but will there be medical staff? I guess you said they're non-trained, they're not medical staff, correct?
They're medical staff, but we're doing medical education and medical coordination. So it's a hands-off facility, but there are 24/7 hour LVNs or RNs on site.
24/7? Okay, good. Now, you've had these types of facilities, I'm assuming, in other cities, correct?
Yes.
Can you share with us the success? And I state that because my concern is that we have the people that are coming here, they're there for 90 days. What exactly is that bridge program? I know that you said that you're going to be able to work with housing, but we have limited housing here in San Bernardino. My concern is that you let them go after 90 days and they're just sitting in front of the facility waiting to get back in or go back to the hospital and then come back in. So, I'm not sure if that's going to be really conducive to helping people if we don't have a really concrete bridge program.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we have one of our experts here, Debbie. She runs the whole housing program. Is it okay for her to come and speak to it?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
Sorry.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for the opportunity to present this program to you. My name's Debbie Wolford. I'm the Executive Director for Encompass Housing. We are already working in the Inland Empire. Our housing team has about 74 individuals that we're currently working with housing navigation services. So we meet them out in the street, in the park, wherever it is that they're at, and we do a housing assessment with them to identify where they're at. If they need to start by getting an ID, we walk all that way with them, all the way up to going and taking them to a unit to rent. We started about 8 months ago, I believe. We have 8 individuals that we've already housed that are in their own units as of today, and we have 9 more in the pipeline that are soon to be housed. So we will go into this facility. We will be there on day 1 to say, let's start talking about your housing plan and start planning from day 1 so that they're not wasting those 90 days because there's a lot of work to be done. And then another benefit that Elizabeth referenced is the short-term post-hospitalization. So that's potentially another 6 months, especially for those clients that have a lot of evictions, a lot of barriers. That gives us more time to work with them so that we can address those barriers while they're with us.
Okay. So you state that these folks are coming from hospitals, but it sounds like you said that you're going out to the community, you're looking for people, and they're homeless. So this is essentially a homeless shelter?
No, so that they're coming from the hospitals to recuperative care. Our housing team gets direct referrals from IEHP, and we will be going directly to them in the recuperative care site. It's the hospital referring to recuperative care, not to our housing program.
Got you. Thank you.
I'm going to go this way first. Larry?
Yes, thank you. This question may be addressed to staff. Parking, is there adequate parking, or because of this use, is this fall into a different parking requirement?
There is adequate parking because the patients are 100% ambulatory, because it's already parked for motels. This type of use will be the type of traffic that will be going to this facility is less than what a motel will have. So that way, and also the staff members, it will be approximately 25 staff members, and it's 105 parking stalls that's provided. So it is adequate parking for this type of use.
Commissioner Quill, if I might just add to that. Most of the folks that would be taken care of do not have vehicles because they are recovering from injuries or whatever. Transportation will be provided through vans. So as far as the impact on parking, we don't see that as a significant issue. Like Chantel said, there's 105 parking spaces on the property. This is an existing motel, so parking is not going to be an impact for this project.
Okay, well, I was considering perhaps the people there may get visitors along with the staff that's working there, so I was wondering if this is enough parking for the visitors that might want to.
Well, I'm going to let the applicants deal with that. But from what I know about the nature of this type of operation, it is almost unlikely, unless there's been a connection with a family member or something, that the types of people that would be here would be the ones that would get regular visits. And if the applicants want to go into further detail about that, that's a possibility as well. But regardless, I don't see a situation whereby we get overwhelmed and the parking lot is full because of visiting day or something like that. In my interaction and in my capacity as a director of the housing division and these kinds of clients, we sometimes have to make that family connection. Oh, do you have family? Oh yeah, they're in Arkansas, so it's not one of those regular situations whereby you have somebody who's got friends and family waiting for them to come back home. Some of these people have lived on the streets for a while. It just so happens that they get injured, and when they get injured, being citizens of this country, they go and get medical care. When they come out of medical care, rather than setting them back on the streets, they would go into this facility where they recuperate, and then once they are able to, and while they are there, there will be transitions, questions asked, how do you move on to the next level? Do you have any friends or family around? Our responsibility is to try to link some of these population with people that they may know so that they can come off the street.
Okay, thank you. But are there different zoning requirements for this use?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
I got a couple of questions.
If I could, just before, I'd just like to acknowledge that Commissioner Casey Daly has arrived.
Thank you. I apologize for being late. You can blame the Measure S Citizens Oversight Committee. I was there.
Commissioner Garcia?
So I got a couple of questions. First one is for staff. How many recuperative care facilities do we have in our city? Because I know we just approved one in Ward 1.
From what I know, Commissioner Garcia, this will be the second one. The other one is on Redlands Boulevard.
And then for the applicant, is it the same applicant that's applying? I was curious to know, what's the monthly expenses or funding for a patient that occupies a bed? And I wanted to know also, how many patients are allowed in this motel? Is it 200, because it's 200 beds?
So right now, what we're asking for is for the whole building to have the CUP for up to 200 beds, but that's not where we're going to be. It's going to be a program that slowly has a ramp up. So it's going to take time for us to get to that capacity, and there's also going to be rooms that we're going to be using for office spaces, so it won't get to the full capacity immediately. And I'm sorry, what was the other question?
The other question was like, what is an average or monthly expense per patient?
So depending on the project or the funder, it's anywhere from 200 to 220 per night, per person.
And then the other question I had was will this facility help alleviate homelessness throughout our city? Because the definition from what I found online, it says it often is for those that are experiencing homelessness.
Yeah, one of the assets and partnerships that we see as a benefit of us coming into a community is if there are existing shelters, navigation centers, they may not be equipped with the staffing that we have on site that are able to provide medical coordination. So we want to partner with those organizations and have them referred over to us so we can provide that support. So some people may come through, hopefully, navigation centers or shelters, and that would be filling a gap.
And then last question, if out of 10 patients, out of those 10, how many are homelessness, or what's their situation, so I can better understand like what type of patients are entering this type of facility? So if you can just give me like a scenario of 10 different patients, are they?
I would say maybe 80%.
Are homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Daley, do you have any questions? Item number 3, no.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Garcia, Orlando.
Good evening, everybody. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
I have a few questions, kind of bouncing back on the parking. I know you guys mentioned those 5 ADA parking, and I do understand most of the patients potentially won't be driving. I mean, who knows, right? Seems like it's adequate parking. The 5 ADA parking, is that going to be enough? In the event some of them are injured and they might have a vehicle, is 5 adequate for that property?
Yes.
Commissioner
so-
Garcia, this facility was built as a motel. When
Understood.
it was built as a motel, it met ADA requirements, which is one ADA parking space for every 25 parking spaces. So from that regard, it does meet those standards. Now, if it so happens that they feel that they need additional handicap parking spaces, I don't know the reason why that would be the case, because none of these patients are going to be driving vehicles. And the vans that are being proposed could be parked in any parking space, in any of the available parking spaces on site. So if need be, based on their assessment, they can always have more than 5 handicap parking spaces on the property. But they meet the minimum of 5 spaces based on the number of total parking spaces on the property.
Understood. It was just a question. I mean, I understand. I live in the 5th Ward. I know that property really well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see some type of movement over there. Glad they're going this way.
Mm-hmm.
The clients are ambulatory and there's no medical services provided. What kind of recuperative procedures, I wouldn't say procedures, what kind of recuperative services will be done then? Can you guys give us an idea of what a day-to-day would look like for an individual?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Connie Bartlett. I am the Chief Medical Officer and the Medical Director for WPC. So I will be seeing the medical supervision at the recuperative care, which is what my role is currently in the other facilities. We're not really there to provide direct care, as mentioned earlier by staff member, but we're there to help connect them with the medical home. So we identify PCP assignment through insurance verification. We also help them with transportation to and from the primary care office. We help to coordinate any kind of home health services if needed once they're discharged from the hospital. And we also help them with medication delivery. We supervise them taking self-administered medication, and we monitor their recovery while they're in the recuperative care. So by this kind of supervision and the wraparound services, coordinating with the case managers, the housing navigators, the behavioral health specialists on site, we can actually help to reduce unnecessary ER visits, unnecessary hospitalization, as well as reduce total cost of care in terms of utilization.
Okay, thank you. Now, last question. I think it was Debbie. So are you a partner? It sounds like you're a housing partner and not directly affiliated with National Healthcare for Housing Advisors. Was that correct?
I'm the executive director of Encompass Housing, which is its own nonprofit. I also work for NHHA as their VP of Housing, so I have a dual role. We work in partnership. All of the nonprofits work in partnership.
Okay, I was trying to understand your role. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And after the 90 days, is that where you come in mainly for the 6 months of potential housing?
No, I start at day one of the 90 days.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then I think we might have got this answered, but 102 rooms, we're aiming for 200 beds. Is that the capacity we're looking for? Is that the max capacity? What do you guys guessing the occupancy will be?
It's 104 rooms.
104.
And yes, 104 rooms, and we're guesstimating about 200 bed occupancy.
Looking to be really busy then, right?
Very busy.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I got.
Commissioner Pratt, you had follow-up questions?
Yeah, I just had a follow-up to my colleague's question. San Bernardino's unhoused population is at max capacity. Would it be common practice, say for instance, if you have a client that comes through us by way of Orange County, to find them permanent housing after their time with you back in Orange County? Or is it first available?
For Orange County?
Well, I'm using Orange County as a hypothetical. If a client comes to you from another city, the Orange County, Los Angeles, they end up hospitalized here and under your care. When they transition out of your program into permanent housing, will we be attempting to house them back in Los Angeles, back in Orange County, back in Riverside County, or will it be the first available housing?
So we're generally working with health plans, and so their health plan is going to be attached to the community that they're in. So we don't see a lot of Orange County people in San Bernardino. We don't see a lot of crossover because they're going to be where their health insurance is. And we want to keep them where their health insurance is because part of our goal is to connect them to primary care. And I mean, ultimately, it's their choice where they want to be housed, but for the most part, it's within the community that we are located in.
Thank you. Better example, Ontario. We've had Ontario police officers dropping people off from Ontario and San Bernardino on hotel vouchers. We're just concerned, to inherit other people's issues. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a few questions. What happens if a patient in your care does not want to take their medicine?
That's a great question, by the way, and it happens more common than you think, because you can imagine a lot of these behavior, and they really just lack of understanding, education, and there's a lot of delay or lack of care. So continuity of care is very rare for this population, especially. So what we do is we utilize our LVN in the medical supervision role. So part of her role is education. So we have these weekly interdisciplinary team meeting where we get together and speak with our case manager, our behavioral health health specialist, the medical team, as well as in housing navigation. We identify these gaps with individual client. It's customized to that particular client needs, and we all get together and discuss the plan going forward. Sometimes it could be as simple as my behavioral health specialist doing a motivational interview and to talk and understand why they're refusing. And then my medical team also involved with a day-to-day reminder and also advise them. And then we work with the PCP office to make sure the medication can be switched from a short-acting to longer-acting, so that way they don't have to take it 3-4 times a day. So education.
Can you define PCP office?
Primary care providers.
Thank you. And if after all of that, they still refuse to take their medication is still refused, then what is the route?
So what we do is, in that case, we work together with the team as a whole, and then we try to find alternative. Most of the time, their refusal, especially after education and reinforcement wise needed, is as the most common side effects. They refuse the Lasix because they make them pee all the time, and they want to wake up. So sometimes we work with a primary care provider to switch to a different medication with less side effects or longer acting, so they won't take it as often. So usually we kind of customize it and work around depending on what is the cause of that refusal. But the whole point of the recuperative care is for them to recover, recuperate, and rehabilitate from an illness or condition. That's part of the requirement, because I believe you said we're not a shelter. So there are rules that you have to adhere to, and one of it is a medical recovery, especially when you come from the hospital.
What percentage of the patients do not take their prescribed medication?
Absolutely not, like zero.
Zero. So everybody at the end of the day takes their medication?
Less than 10%.
Less than 10%?
Yeah.
Thank you. And what happens to that less than 10%? Are they referred back to a hospital? Are they housed somewhere? Where does that 10% end up?
So a lot of time depend on the medication. We have a certain rule. If the medication is not life-saving, as in insulin, as in, antibiotics to fix something, and some of these, if their refusal is a medication that have no consequences, it is an individual choice. This is a voluntary program, so we have to kind of respect their wish, and we go along and kind of hold hand and educate as much as we can. But as far as ultimately, if they don't take medication, if this is a life-saving medication, truth be told, they end up in the hospital, right?
Okay.
But, we try to avoid that route as much as possible, and we try to explain, because a lot of these individuals, they do not want to go to the hospital. They don't want to go see a doctor. They don't want to go to urgent care. They do not want that kind of intervention. So ultimately, that's why the number is really low. And we do have, and most of the time that 10% or lower that I just mentioned is usually there's a non-life critical medication. It could be something that they refuse to take because it makes them feel absolutely no difference. But if it's something like insulin or hypertensive medication, a beta blocker, they're going to feel lousy really, really fast, and they're going to want to take those. So sometimes we do compromise. The list of 10 of medication, I would say if you take these top 4, I will kind of give you a break on these bottom 6 because it's of no consequence.
Can you, without violating, any HIPAA, can you speak to what is the normal types of medications that are dispersed? Are we talking about antipsychotic medication? Is that something that the patients are on? Or is you specifically mentioned insulin or Lasix, but what about more in depth? Are we addicted to painkillers, that type of patient?
So perfect question. We're in the part of where right now we're analyzing our data. So the top 10 diagnoses has been discovered in terms of mental health and chronic medical conditions. So absolutely. So mental health, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar are probably the most common. And chronic medical conditions, hypertension, diabetes, CHF, and cardiovascular disease are probably my top 4. So those are the acuity that we're currently seeing in our facility.
Thank you. I have a couple more questions. Out of the $200 or $220 per patient that it takes to house these individuals, where does that money come from? Is it from the insurance company?
Health plans.
Health plans. Thank you. Who does the assessment or the intake
So it's a multidisciplinary team. So we do have an intake individuals that do the initial assessment. So this is your belonging. We not catalog what you bring with you, what you can and cannot bring onto the facility. And then each discipline do their own intake. My behavior specialists do their own intake. Medical team do their own intake because each specialty or each discipline have their own question that they have to track and follow. My case manager do their own intake. My housing navigators do their own intake.
And what percentage are denied?
Deny as in they don't do the intake?
As in you deny them attending your, being a patient at the facility? Or is 100% everybody is welcome?
So there are inclusion, exclusion criteria to be admitted into recuperative because we're not a shelter and we're not a SNF. We're not a long-term facility. We're not a nursing facility. So there we have a very specific criteria that case managers, the hospital is aware of. We do in-services. We also participate with a community-based organization referred to us as well as street medicine team. But if they don't fit a certain criteria that has a chance of recovery, and there has to be ambulatory with we do have individual wheelchair, but they self-transfer. They have to have a certain health condition that's going to have a good chance to recover during their 90 days or less in our care. So not everybody is welcome. It is strictly for those who are recovering from an acute illness or injury.
So is there anybody that you say we cannot take? I understand they have to meet your certain criteria. If they meet your criteria, but has there ever been an instance where you've said, no, we're not going to take this patient?
Absolutely.
And what percentage is that?
Less than 5%.
And what happens to that 5%?
We send them back to the hospital.
Okay.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Yes.
No HIPAA violation. We had an individual that the hospital's case manager said that he can self-ambulate 300 feet to and from the bathroom. Perfect, we'll take him. And then he came in completely, has a lower extremity fracture. He hasn't been out of bed since his hospitalization. We're not a nursing facility. I can't have somebody going to help him use the restroom or whatnot. So, that individual that up on arrival, that person is not a good fit because we don't have nursing staff that can manage his medication and his ambulation. So we actually called the case manager and sent him back. And then now he needs higher acuity. So that gentleman should have been in the skilled nursing facility, for instance. But we're very careful with our intake, so that number is very low.
Thank you. You also mentioned that you have a process to be a good neighbor. Can you expand on what that means?
So with that, we don't allow clients to walk on and walk off the property. That's why we have transportation. So we have transportation shuttles that go out in the morning, go out in the afternoon. So clients have the opportunity to work around that schedule. If they want to leave at 9 in the morning to take care of, certain appointments, go to work, whatever it may be, they can be shuttled off and then they get shuttled back on the facility.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions for staff. Was this project sent to the police department?
I did send it to the police department last week. I have not received anything back.
So it's not that they had no comments, it's that they refused to comment?
They didn't comment on it. I hadn't received anything from them.
Okay. And have we had that conversation with PD where you've notified them that the commission would like to hear from them?
Madam Chair, I think it goes without saying that every time we send these kinds of requests for comments to other agencies and departments, there's an obligation on their part to respond. Sometimes they don't respond if they don't have anything to say about the project. Other times, they would respond with an ambiguous language. In this particular instance, they just didn't really see the law enforcement connection because they don't get to interview who these patients are. These patients are sent from hospitals.
Correct.
And you've just heard that if they don't fit, they go back to the hospital. I think what you might want to ask our clients is there is a concern in the city that once these patients arrive at this location and they are somehow disposed of back onto the streets. And that is a situation that we've heard with the City of Ontario bringing people into the city, especially with the location on Redlands Boulevard.
I understand that, but my specific question was, we have repeatedly asked staff to bring in the police department. And so my specific question is, that I had asked staff was, did PD not respond, or did they have no response? The answer was that they did not respond.
Right.
My question is, have you as staff had the conversation with the police department that this commission body would like to hear from them?
Chantel, did you have that conversation with the police department that the planning commission would like to hear from them on this and subsequent issues?
No, I did not have that conversation.
So that was a request, I think that was made at the last meeting or the meeting before that, that we want to hear from the police department on the projects that are routed to them, and it would have been nice to have heard from the police department on this specific item.
I don't disagree with you, but it's somewhat unusual for them not to respond. Take the ABC licensing issues, for example. They always respond to that. And they may come off with no recommendation at all, but at least we get a response. On this particular one, we did not receive one. So maybe what I ought to do is get in touch with the police chief and let him know that the Planning Commission would like to hear from the police department, regardless of their position on an issue, so that this doesn't happen again.
Yes, thank you. And has staff visited any other of these locations?
And no, I didn't visit any of the other NHHA locations.
Or have the other cities been reached? Did we reach out to the other cities that these locations are in?
No, I have not.
Madam Chair, let me clarify that information. Mike Rosales, who was the project planner on the other Recoup Care facility, has actually visited that particular facility and has talked to the applicants of that location and basically either got information or talked to other agencies that have these kinds of facilities.
But not this particular organization.
What I know about this organization is that they do have a very beautiful facility in the city of Long Beach, which they have run successfully. And I think they also may have had an operation in the city of Ontario. I'm not too sure about that, but this is not the first and only recuperative care facility that they do run.
Correct. And on the other project where Mike Rosales was the planner, there was a condition in there that the facility would be revisited every, I believe, 6 months. Was that condition placed on this facility as well?
Chantel?
No, so for this facility, I know Mike's project, it was a combination of the motel and the recuperative care center. This one is not going to be a combination. It would just be the entire, they would take over the entire motel. So it would convert into the recuperative care facility. So the same conditions that were placed on Mike's, that condition was not placed onto this project.
Thank you. Are there any other comments by the commissioners or questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Commissioner.
Thank you. Listening to some of the comments, I look back at the conditions. I see that we have 24/7 security and cameras. But looking at this intersection here, it's a pretty busy intersection, and I don't know the condition of the fencing around the property. And I do know that even hospitals have people that check themselves out if they feel like they would like to. So I would think that would be a condition or a situation that would be concerning, again, with this busy traffic area here. If somebody was delusional and they wanted to check out, they would have a real problem in that traffic area. So
Yeah, and fencing was actually one of the things that we really look at anytime we look at any of the facilities. This facility actually has wraparound fencing. The only area that it doesn't have fencing is the immediate driveway going in. And if, we have gone to other facilities where we have been requested to put in that fencing even in that area, so that's something that we could easily also do.
Commissioner Garcia?
One other question for the applicant. What happens to the existing pool that's at the motel? Is that going to be placed out of service, or when the patients are in this motel?
Yeah, so that is one of the questions that we've had, is really looking at that space. So we're thinking of having that space an area where clients can lounge in, but not being able to use the pool itself. So we wouldn't get rid of it or tear it down or anything like that. It would be more of just a covering.
Commissioner Daly? I would like, do you have any follow-up questions? No, I would like,
More of a comment. I'm really concerned in regards to some of the things that you mentioned in regards to the type of clients and their medical conditions, especially around the mental health. And the fact that I do live in Ward 5, and so I have seen that facility, the motel, it's easily open. And you can't force someone to stay.
Yeah.
So they have the right to come and go as they please. And the fact that they're not required to take their medication is concerning, as well as the crime factor. In Long Beach, can you share with us any data in regards to crime that's occurred at that location?
Yeah, so
or calls for service, if I can touch on that.
Or calls for service, thank you. Absolutely. I don't have that information off the top of my head, but what I can share is that where we're currently at is the Long Beach Community Hospital. It's an old hospital that turned 100 years old. There's a lot of history attached to that hospital. There was a lot of community that came out when we did our first open engagement. There was a lot of people that came out in support of it because they wanted to see the hospital come back to life and services be there. But there were also a lot of people that were very much opposed to it and did not want to see it there. And if you've ever been to that area, to that hospital, the previous hospital, it's right in the center of residential area. It's in front. There's, beautiful private practices, and it's also right on the main road. So our commitment to the community is, we will be good neighbors. We've done these programs many times for many years. We've had over 12 different facilities that I've personally oversaw in Orange County, LA, and in Inland Empire. And the way that we've proved that, and we've always, to the community said, we can say a lot and we can get up here and we can talk, but the proof will be 6 months down the road, come back to us and tell us, like, what issues have you found? We are here and we're available for any questions, for any meetings, for any tours that need to happen on site. Thankfully, we have not had anybody come to us and complain. We actually have a lot of support from the city council that's very much supporting of the project. So again, if you're able to go down there, open invitation to anybody that would like to go. It's an amazing campus. It's much bigger than this project here, and it has a pharmacy on site, sobering center, urgent care. We have additional partners that are going to be doing residential programs on site. We have a whole area where housing navigation is. So I absolutely invite everybody to come out and tour it. Like I said, we've been doing this for many years, so it's not something that we decided to do overnight, but there's a lot of years of experience, and we've learned that the best that we can do for a community is be able to come in and nobody even know we're there, right? We've had sites where we've gone to communities and they've asked us, well, we don't want you there and we don't want this. And we're like, oh, we've actually been here for a year. And they're, oh, okay. So that's really our goal, is really to make sure that we're coming into a community and, running an excellent program.
I would like to respond to your question regarding to the mental health condition and people refusing medication. The reality, these individuals are in your neighborhood right now, and they're not taking medication. They're not getting any mental health support. They're not getting any services. So I think they pose a greater danger to be out in public and not getting the wraparound services by being than being in our facility. Yes, it is a voluntary facility. We don't force anybody to anything, but I say that percentage of people refusing the medication, non-clinical critical medication is very low. When these clients arrive on our site, and as Debbie mentioned, housing start day one, we have a warm handoff and they have immediate access to mental health support on site anytime when they need, versus right now, I don't know if you ever tried to make an appointment to see a therapist in your community. I will promise you 3 to 6 months wait is a norm. Yeah. If you're lucky to find one that have an open access or an open panel that will take you in. So I share your concern, but our success is not to leave them the way they were. Our success is all about keeping them in our services, provide the support they needed to rehabilitate them and reduce the acuity. And in some cases, we actually give them a second chance of life. So it's really not meant for us to leave them in the condition they came in.
Thank you. Commissioner Daly.
Thank you. I'm ready to make a motion whenever we're getting there.
I have a motion as well. Would you like to make your motion first? Well, correct. You have a follow-up question?
Okay. A lot of information, and you see the interest here. This is something big for that area, I think. I noticed that the staff and kind of peeked at your guys' executive team. I see some of them here. You guys are medical heavy. You're talking about mental health. I didn't hear anything of any PsyDs on staff, or I didn't see it in the executive team or any LCSWs. So I would like to hear what kind of actual mental health,
bring the expert.
Mental health therapy that you will have.
Good evening, Chairwoman and Honorable Mission Nurse. My name is Dr. Clayton Chow. By training, I'm a psychiatrist and a psychologist. Give you a little bit about my history. During the pandemic, I was a health agency for Orange County Health Agency, and I was also the health officer for Orange County. I've been working with individuals in-house for 20-some years. I started when I was in high school. I believe Elizabeth mentioned that what stands us apart from other recoup is that our staff got full training. Before we admit anyone, all of our staff go through my training. I took the crisis intervention team curriculum from Tennessee, if you're familiar with that, for law enforcement, which is 40 hours of de-escalations and counseling, and I tag on another week. So in total, they have about 100 hours of both didactic training and in-person supervision, and training that include regular health, mental health, substance use disorder, motivational interviewing technique, trauma-informed care, de-escalation, how do you provide mediations when people get into conflicts. One of the other sites that Elizabeth forgot to mention that we operate, recovery care, is in Imperial County. We opened that in January, and now going on 6 months, and we only have one 911 call. And that 911 call was a conflict between two individuals. So it was shocking to the law enforcement in Imperial County. And the reason being, our staff, specifically the safety and stabilization counselor, on site 24/7. These people are people who actually are security guarded. They get their guard card. And then I pick them. We only choose people who have security guard so they know how to provide intervention in critical situation. And then I tack on this 100-hour training for them. And actually, we have compared to other recoup that do not have this category of employee and notice that we have been able to maintain calmness in our environment much more so than other. I'm not bragging, but we are getting ready to contract with Volunteer of America. You know Volunteer of America, which is a large nonprofit organization nationwide, and on the West Coast, they provide shelter, specifically in a state like California and Nevada. They came and visit our site, and now they are interested in contracting with us to train all of their staff to become SSC.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing at about 7:05. And Casey, did you have Commissioner Daley?
I'd like to move staff's recommendation.
I would like a substitute motion, if I could, to continue this item until staff can provide comments that either PD has officially no comment on this project or that they do have a comment. And I would like for staff to bring back comments from the other cities that the facility is in. I want to make it clear, I am in favor of a project like this. I would just like for us to do our due diligence to check with other cities and to check with PD.
I will second that.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Vice Commissioner Daley?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
So just for clarification, we're pushing it to the next meeting?
Till staff can bring back the information, yes.
But I thought there was two motions. I'm confused.
There was
Get a second.
Correct.
Oh, wait, because I wanted a second, the first motion.
Substitute motion before you go.
You still can, but the second motion will still be voted on first. And if it fails, correct, then we can proceed to vote on the first motion. Do you want to second the first motion?
Yes.
Okay, so let's make sure we have a record of that.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can continue calling for the vote on the second motion.
So I'm going to vote no on the second motion.
Yeah, I'm going to change my vote to no. I didn't know that I had a second.
Give me a second. I'm just going to go ahead and notate that. And for the first one was Chair Sherrick and Vice Chair Quill.
Substitute motion, yes.
So at this time, I'll take the vote for the substitute motion. Okay. We'll start again. So Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daley?
No.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
And this is the second motion again? No.
Yes, the substitute. Commissioner Galande?
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia?
No.
Okay, so vote passes 4-3. Yep, that's correct. So the substitute motion has passed 4-3.
Thank you. And I think we are now on item number 4.
Madam Chair, before we're done with this item, are we continuing this item to a date-specific Planning Commission meeting?
When will you be able to have the information?
We should have that information by the next City Planning Commission meeting, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should.
That's fine. So that would be July 8th, correct?
Yes, that is correct, the July 8th meeting.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. I'm Chantel Choi, Senior Planner with the City of San Bernardino Planning Division. I'm here to present item number 4, extension of time 25-02 for conditional use permit 21-13. Extension of time 25-02 is for a 1-year time extension for a CUP 21-13. The project site is located at 1959 North Macy Street on a parcel containing approximately 0.52 acres within the residential suburban zone. The project site is located within the residential suburban zone. It is surrounded by other parcels within the exact same zone to the east, west, north, and south. The project site is currently developed with a single-family home. To the north, it is a vacant site. To the south, east, and west is also developed with single-family residential. The proposed project is for a one-year time extension for previously approved conditional use permit 25-0, for conditional use permit 21-03 is a request to allow the establishment, wrong one. Extension of time 25-02 is a request for a one-year time extension for conditional use permit 21-13 located at 1959 North Macy Street on a parcel containing 0.52 acres. The extension of time is for the conversion of a single-family home into a 2,233 square foot religious facility with an addition of 940 square foot. This will be the second time extension for the project. With the approval of the time extension, the new expiration date will be April 12, 2026. Just to give you a brief background, on April 12, 2022, the Planning Commission adopted resolution number 2022-014, approving conditional use permit 21-13, allowing the conversion of an existing 2,230 square foot single-family resident with a 780 square foot addition into a place of public assembly, religious facility on a parcel containing approximately 0.52 acres. On May 13th, 2024, staff approved minor modification 24-02, granting an increase of 160 square feet. So that brings the addition to 940 square feet. On June 11, 2024, the Planning Commission adopted Resolution 2024-019, approving extension of time 24-03, allowing a one-year extension for conditional use permit 2113. Here we have the existing site. As you can see, it is developed with a single-family home. This will be the new layout. They are proposing new parking stalls. Also, there will be new sidewalks included into the new site layout. Here we have the floor plan of the previously approved plans. The south, east, west, and north elevation. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-028, finding the project exempt pursuant to section 15061B3, review for exemption in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving extension of time 25-02 for conditional use permit 21-13, subject to the recommended conditions of approval. I do want to add that the project is currently in a plan check. It is near the end of plan check, ready to pull permits. It is only one pending division that is that needed to review the project. However, the project is there at the end of plan check. I also want to note that there was a public comment that was provided yesterday from the neighboring property. I'm just going to read the public comment. This is the Lopez family that lives next to the mosque in a residential area located at 1959 North Macy Street. I would like to comment for the third time a parcel number 0269051-48. I happened to be physically present in the last hearing and was stunned by the gentleman who claimed to sue the city if extension was denied, and have concluded that as a citizen, my family, and the neighborhood also have rights, and our right to live in a safe, peaceful, and private neighborhood have been violated when the city allowed a religious group home in a residential area without neighborhood agreement or feedback, and now possible allowing expansion. This is a residential area, and my family is most affected because my right to peace is disturbed. Every time I am startled and awakened when they use their megaphone speaker for prayer after 10 p.m. at night and as early as 4 a.m. I fear for my safety as I have seen and heard people fighting among themselves at this location. They have taken this place like a hotel. I also see different people and that's why I am worried about the safety of my family. I would like to share that a few months, a suspect that attends the mosque broke the window of my daughter's car and stole her personal belongings. A detective has been assigned to her case, and hopefully we can prosecute to her case soon. As residents and taxpayers, we disagree with the extension. The place remains the same. There is no parking assigned for the congregation. The noise remains the same. The property stays the same, unkept. The quantity of the people coming in and out is absurd, and I see no neighborhood difference. Rather than giving extension, the city of San Bernardino must implement the fixture of noises, reduction, soundproofing material in pre-existing home, church parking, concrete walls for privacy of others, and dates and times of operation, and conclude and ask you no more extensions, and ask on behalf of the whole neighborhood that they make the corresponding changes for privacy, safety, cleanliness, and peaceful neighborhood. Thank you very much. So that was from the neighboring parcel.
Thank you. Is that?
Yes, so that concludes staff presentation. The applicant is here to address any questions or concerns. They were made aware of the public comment, and they would like to address that.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I would like to ask staff to identify the property where the comment came from on the aerial map.
So we have the neighboring property right here. So this will be the
So to the
site.
south, directly to the south of the project site.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing around 7:20. And our first speaker is Jamal Hadi. What is your name? Amaro? Amaro. Thank you. Okay. The same item? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Has the clock started? Or applicant, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. It's an honor to be in front of you again. Of course, answering you is very important as a committee, but before you, we have to answer to a higher God. Okay, so last time we talked with or I talked with the husband of the neighbor, and the complaint was that his wife was unable to get the mail from the mailbox because one of the cars belong to the mosque is preventing her. And we said, if you have any complaint, you just come to us. This is the first thing. Second thing, regarding speaker or thing like this, okay, we have 5 prayers. It's a very small mosque. We use the speaker once every Friday for 30 minutes, and that's it. No TV, no, music center. We don't have a sound system, just a small speaker, so that the women in their section are able to hear. 30 minutes only every week. Okay, now, yes, there are people coming and going because we have, I think, twice or 3 times, it depends on the situation, we, distribute food for those who are in need for food in the area. Okay. We have a big mission, okay, and we are very small, and we are trying to be better. I believe this project is going to make the complaint of the neighbor disappear. Why? We're going to have a wall separating between us and them, a good wall that we can take care of the noise, if there is any noise. At the same time, there will be security. We have already security on site, but it will be doubled at least with cameras, and we have all those things, but it should be, or it's going to be much, much better. So any complaint, they should tell us, and then we are going to take care of it. The simple reason is, before we talk to the committee here, we talk to a higher cause. This is the most important thing. If Moses, peace be upon him, he said, take care of your neighbor. Jesus, peace be upon him, said, take care of your neighbor. Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, take care of your neighbor. So it is more important to us, believe me, than anyone else to take care of our neighbor. And if the neighbor is here, please come to me, okay, and let us discuss and let's fix it. And that's it. I hope I didn't take much time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there someone, Jamal or Mohammed? I have 2 Mohammeds. Mohammed Amir? Yes. And you will need to be sworn in.
Yes. Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give before this body will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I've been hired newly as in the beginning, good evening, Madam Chair, good evening, Commissioners, good evening, public in attendance. I've been hired newly by the board as the new project manager. And we started, fixing stuff, as much as we can. But so far, we're not using the microphone, which I hear this is the first time. We never use the microphone except only once a week for 30 minutes, as my peer was talking about. We need this remodeling so we can actually make the place better for everyone, including the neighbors. We're trying as much as we can, but right now we have an architect who actually is being distant away from here. He's living in Kentucky, and we're trying, this was actually the delay of our project. Our president of the board, actually, he went through 3 heavy surgeries, and he's still actually going through radiation, sessions every day, Monday to Friday. And he's very, very well known in the community, Dr. Muhammad Al-Bey. And, I can't find, anything except only as my peer was actually talking about, taking care of neighbors is very, very important for us. We are not going to make any escalation between us and any neighbor around us, but we're just trying to move on with this project. We need this remodeling. We are not actually changing, except when we are only extending. We got all the approvals like Ms. Chantel was talking about, except only the sewer because they are understaffed. And they said it will take about 6 to 8 weeks because they're short-staffed. That's the only thing, I got from the technician there, because I'm the one who went through all these procedures, to getting the permits. We got the permits from the fire marshal, from the school zone, from the water department, from the other facilities, which we are required. The firefighter, yeah, the fire marshal. And all we need just only to get the approval for the sewer so we can move on and get this, implemented. If there is any question, by all means, I'm willing to, get any questions and answer it, Thank you for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mohammed Al-Bey, would you like to speak? Okay, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry for your condition. Thank you. Mr. Jamal?
No, they cover everything.
Okay, thank you. Is there any,
Comment regarding the speaker.
if you could come to the microphone, please?
Actually, hi, everybody.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Jamal Hadi.
Thank you.
Actually, regarding the speaker, we only use a speaker on Friday, which is a Friday pray for only 30 minutes. And we have a little tiny speaker on the other for the ladies section, which is the sister section, so they could hear us, during the speech. And that's about it. We don't have no surround system, no loudspeakers, and none of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any questions? Sure, please.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Please state your name for the record.
Thank you very much to give our opportunity talking with very, very experienced and nice people. We're really very good with our neighbor. It's not only one neighbor. We have a lot of neighbor around. Even when you're making food, order food from outside every week, all the neighbor he come and eat, and he the first one was us. And last hearing he was here, and he come with us, not against us. So we doing beautiful target and purpose in our life. We save and build new generation. We stay away from smoke, drugs, alcohol, and we teach him how to be knowledge more than anything else. This is our care, our concern, and let him know his religion. He knows he's all the prophet and the messenger. He knows the real God. When you worship and you respect the community, we be safe. And we are very nice with not only the neighbor, with everybody. We feed the needed people. We feed the youth people and give gifts. And all the neighbor, every week we have food from food bank, or we buy gifts for everybody. If you have this complaint, it's right. He's our friend, really. Approximately our neighbor, no one complain. Everybody nice with us. Even some people who come to need help for another place like Orange County or Ontario or Moreno Valley, we go with them. We help him out. A lot of neighbor twice happened with me. The wife is very sick and she don't want to call 911, and we take her and take care of her. I never ask her, what's your religion, what's your name, I never, because we very flexible and easy. And this is our mission target in this life until he leave and say bye-bye. I'm so sorry because I sick for a while and I have surgery and still recover. Thank you for giving me a chance. I appreciate it. We only need extension to complete. We are ready. We pay everything and ready to start, inshallah.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed Albib. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are there any questions or comments by the commission? Commissioner Pratt.
Hi, how you doing? I have a quick question for staff. Am I understanding correctly that plan check is what's delaying this project from being completed?
No, so the project expired while in plan check. It was right there ready to get pulled, permits to be pulled. It's just one pending, which is water. But while it was in plan check, it expired. That's why they can't pull permits right now.
Oh, so they need it to be in compliance in order to be able to get the permits?
Yes.
Yes.
My suggestion would just be that we prioritize this to mitigate the struggle between the neighbors and the mosque. I mean, once the project is complete, that tends to go away through my experience. Thanks.
Yeah, it'll address the parking because they will be able to develop the site to where they intend to do. So they'll have the parking, the addition, the sidewalk, and things like that.
Any other questions? I just have one question. What time is the microphone for 30 minutes on Friday going off?
It's between 1 o'clock and 1:30
PM?
p.m.
Thank you.
Yeah, not 4 a.m.
Thank you. If I don't hear any other comments or questions, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:30 and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
Can I clarify the second?
Second.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Commissioner Galante?
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you. Well wishes, thank you. Item number 5.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public. My name is Angelina Mendoza, and I will be presenting item number 5, extension of time 25-03 for conditional use permit 20-17. Extension of time 25-03 is a request to allow a one-year extension for construction under conditional use permit 20-17, which involves the development, establishment, and operation of an assembly facility for religious purposes. The plan is also a mid-plan check under building permit number B2403319, and the applicant team is requesting a one-year extension for construction. The project is located at 1316 West 13th Street on a parcel containing approximately 3.80 acres within the Commercial General CG1 zone. The site is currently a vacant property indicated on the provided aerial map. The development, establishment, and operation of an assembly facility for religious purposes was previously reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission on April 11, 2023, under Resolution Number 2023-013 for conditional use permit 20-17, and the requested extension would be a first-time extension. No changes will be made to the site or operations as a facility for religious assembly, and as such, this project still does fit into the context of existing site conditions and will operate within the approved conditions from CUP 20-17. Shown are existing site conditions from West 14th Street with existing site conditions on West 13th Street. The project is shown here on the site plan with ample parking at 173 parking spaces and comprehensive site circulation for assembly uses. The proposed project includes a nursery, meeting room, dining room, and 2 classrooms for its parishioners, in addition to the main assembly hall for worship. Of the 3.80 acres, 32,700 square feet of the site is landscaped with a plant palette that includes peppermint trees, crepe myrtles, and bush morning glories. These are the elevations that were approved under conditional use permit 20-17. No changes have been made or proposed. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopts resolution number 2025-029, finding the project exempt pursuant to section 15061B3, review for exemption in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving extension of time 25-03 for conditional use permit 20-17, subject to the recommended conditions of approval. At this time, staff has not received any public comment, as it was properly noticed in advance of this hearing. Myself, staff, and the applicant team are here for any questions you might have.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:35. I have no speaker cards for this project. Does the applicant wish to speak? Yes.
Yes, one does.
If you could please be sworn in and state your name for the record.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give before the body will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm David Godoy. I'm actually I'm working with our project. The one person involved in our project is actually our pastor, Isaac Zapata, and I'm helping him out with this project. And I just wanted to give a reason why we kind of slowed down in the project. This last year, it was a very difficult year with our pastor is my father-in-law as well. My mother-in-law passed away, so it was a very difficult time. And throughout all these years, it was just very difficult to keep going with the project. But at this moment, we do have all our plans. We have the building plans, revised plans ready to resubmit. We have the grading, the soil, everything ready to turn into public works. We're ready to continue forward with this project. If you would permit us the extension, that would be very grateful.
Thank you. I'm very sorry for your loss and hope you're able to find peace moving forward. Are there any comments or questions by the commission?
I just have one question.
Commissioner Daly.
Thank you. Just looking at the site map here for the parcel, it looks like there's another Baptist church, the Bethesda Missionary Baptist Church. So again, it's not germane here, but just kind of curious as to two churches right next to each other.
Correct. So actually, we had actually spoken with the pastor from there, and they're actually in a process of wanting to sell their property, and they have actually asked us if later on we would want to purchase the property. So that would be, I think, helpful for each one of us, because of course, two separate facilities will be a little strange, if you can say, but yes, we have spoken with them, and I believe they also have another section which is empty. Just I don't think anybody's living there. There's a home and then there's a facility, but we have spoken with them.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:35 and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to move staff's recommendation on resolution number 2025-029.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Commissioner Galande?
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item number 6.
Alrighty, good evening. Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, commissioners, and good evening, members of our public. Before us is item number 6. So we do have General Plan Amendment 24-01, Development Code Amendment or Zoning Map Amendment 24-01, Subdivision 24-04 or Tentative Tract Map number 20695, and then Development Permit Type P 24-04. So, as just discussed, there are several applications attached to this project that are essentially being bundled together to ultimately support this type of project. So just going through a little bit of background about them here. First, we do have General Plan Amendment 24-01, which is to update the General Plan land use designation from commercial to multiple family residential. Second, we have the Development Code Amendment or Zoning Map Amendment 24-01, which is to update the zoning district from Commercial General 1 to Residential Medium. Third, we have Subdivision 24-04 or Tentative Tract Map number 20695, which is to subdivide the existing 14 lots of approximately 15.71 acres and some change into 138 single-family lots. And then lastly, we do have Development Permit 24-04, which is for site and architectural review for 138 single-family homes. This project, as proposed, is a planned unit development, or PUD for short. PUDs allow for greater flexibility in design and allows additional amenities beyond the conventional or traditional single-family lots. This project, as we will discuss in the slides ahead of us, they're more of some of the homes have the clustered style homes or motor court style developments. So these are some of the, you'll see with some of the units that they do have a common driveway. And just for reference, the city does have a handful of these throughout the city. At the top of my head, I know there's one down south by the 10 freeway by Costco. That's one of the PUDs or planned unit developments. We do have another one off of Highland and Palm, and then another one at Highland and Medical Center. So just for reference, this is not the same developer or anything. It's just a similar scope of work. And then this project is located at the northwest corner of Foothill Boulevard and Macy Street. And at its current state, this property is zoned Commercial General 1. So here's an aerial view of the site. Specifically, the project site is again north of Foothill Boulevard. We have Macy Street over there to the east. We have Dallas over there and Dallas over there to the west. So highlighted in red is generally the boundaries of our subject site, which again is approximately 15.71 acres and some change. And so within the vicinity, there are primarily residential uses. To the north, there is existing single family. To the east, on the other side of Macy, that remains vacant. On the south side of Foothill, we do have an existing mobile home park. And on the westerly side, we do have a motel. And just beyond that, the properties are vacant. So here is the zoning map of the property. As mentioned, it is Commercial General 1, which again, part of this project does involve updating it to ultimately support this residential project. If approved, this would be updated to one of the residential zoning districts, more specifically residential medium, which is consistent with some of the surrounding areas. So here is our site plan. Part of this project includes the development of public streets to access the homes, as well as the other off-site improvements such as the installation of curb, gutter, sidewalk, and street lighting. This project will be HOA maintained and include an entrance and exit on Macy Street to the east and an EVA, emergency vehicle access and exit only for the residents on the westerly Dallas side. Now, the main entryway area on Macy, the easterly side, will be enhanced with additional decorative pavers, lighting, signage, additional landscaping, and that does create more of your enhanced entryway, if you will, or a celebrated entryway. As mentioned, this project is a planned unit development, or PUD. You can see some of the homes are of that cluster style that we were talking about, or motor court style, where they do have a shared driveway. Overall, these lot sizes range in size of approximately 2,400 square feet to 4,100 square feet. And then the project does consist of 6 different floor plans, which we'll talk about in a second, ranging in size from 22,325 square feet to 3,076 square feet. Now, each unit does have their own private yard area, and this ranges in size of approximately 300 square feet to 900 square feet. And then each unit does have your traditional driveway space and 2-car garage, in addition to 59 guest parking spaces. And this also includes a decorative perimeter boundary wall of split face material with vinyl fencing to separate those individual yard areas. And then lastly, this project does include a variety of amenities as required by code, which we'll talk about in some of the slides ahead of us. All right, so as mentioned, this project consists of 6 different floor plans ranging in size from 2,325 square feet to 3,076 square feet. All units will contain between 3 and 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath to 3 bath, and a 2-car garage. And so here are the different floor plans. I'm just going to cycle through these just so we have that visual representation. Before us is Plan 1. This is 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. This is Plan 2, which is 4 bedroom, 3 bath. Here we have Plan 3, which is also 4 bedroom, 3 bath. This is Plan 4, which is also 4 bedroom, 3 bath. Oops. Plan 5, similarly, which is 4 bedroom, 3 bath. And then lastly, we do have Plan 6, which is of the larger units, which is 5 bedroom, 3 bath. Oops. So overall, there are 40 units for Plan 1. We do have 24 units for Plan 2, 24 units for Plan 3, 16 units for Plan 4, 17 units for Plan 5, and 17 units for Plan 6. So that does bring our total to 138 units in total for this project, which is below the maximum density allowed in the medium residential zone. All right, so moving on to the elevations. With this project, the applicant is proposing three different distinct architectural styles. We have farmhouse, we have Spanish, and we have prairie-style homes. All units are light earth tone colors consisting of hues of beige and white. They do include decorative materials, lighting, pop-outs, window mullions, to name a few. And then they also included elements to really accentuate each architectural style they're going for. So for example, with the Spanish, well, what makes it Spanish? You have the S-tile roof, you have the archways. For the prairie style home, you do have the horizontal roof lines, you have the hip roof lines. And then for farmhouse, you do have the wood siding and then the board and batten material that you see, very distinct with each type of architectural style. So here are the elevations. I'm going to cycle through these again just to give us that visual representation. Here's Plan 1. Here we have Plan 2, Plan 3, Plan 4, Plan 5, and Plan 6. So there was a lot of emphasis on the front of the home, well, really the 360 architecture that we try to push. And again, you do see those different treatments kind of shine and really kind of accentuate each style that they are going for. Here we have the landscape plan. Our applicant proposes a mix of drought-tolerant, non-invasive 1-gallon and 5-gallon shrubs, along with 24-inch and 36-inch box trees as part of the perimeter and front yard landscape design. You will notice that these features have also been strategically placed at the entrances and ends of these clustered units. Usually these types of developments, they can appear a bit tight, but providing landscape in those areas does provide relief with green space. You'll see it with some of the renderings. And overall, the site plan is primarily covered by green space, all of which is to be maintained by the association. Here are those amenities that we're talking about, one of which is on the northern end of the development. This is going to be a dog park. That's one of their amenities. Secondly, we have, let's see, we do have a tot lot, barbecue areas, picnic tables, and shade structures. And then all of this is interlinked with walking paths or paseos that also encourage additional, movement throughout the site. Here we have the existing site. This is looking northwest from Foothill in Dallas. And then before us are some of the renderings. Again, it helps illustrate those flat images we saw before and brings them to life a little bit more. So here you're able to see some of the staggered units and the different floor plans and architectural styles. So we do have farmhouse, as you can see. We do have the Spanish house, and then that's farmhouse in the back. And you can see how the landscaping does offer that kind of softening of the look in between, especially at the end of aisles. Here's another rendering. This is just, again, to help illustrate what type of style that's going to be there, and really it helps us envision what the project would look like. On the far left, you do have the farmhouse, kind of in the middle there. We do have the Spanish. And then on our far right, we do have the prairie-style house. So that being said, staff's recommendation is that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-030, forwarding a recommendation that the mayor and city council adopt the mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program as part of this project in accordance with CEQA, and then approve General Plan Amendment 24-01, Development Code Amendment 24-01, Subdivision 24-04, tentative tract map 20695, and Development Permit 24-04, based on the findings and the conditions of approval. So at this time, that does conclude my presentation. Staff's available. We do have the applicant, the CEQA consultant, the civil team, and the designer here as well, in case you have any questions. And we did properly notice this project in preparation for tonight's hearing. At this time, we have received I received one phone call. It was one of the adjacent property owners, and they were actually very excited on this project, so they were in favor of this item. Other than that, that does conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:50. I do not have a speaker card for the applicant. Do they wish to speak? I'm going to take that as a no or yes.
Just to clarify, I did receive a speaker slip, and he was sworn in at the start of this.
Perfect. Good evening. Just want to confirm your name is Bobby Nasir? Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for hearing this project out. I'm here just to answer any questions that you guys may have tonight. I apologize. I was actually speaking to the neighbor there who had a question, so wanted to get that. And in fact, maybe I should start with that question. He lives just to the north of the project here. His backyard abuts the wall, and his question was, what are we doing at north end? And we are building a perimeter wall. There's a little bit of a hodgepodge between the neighbors there, between fences and brick walls, but there will be a new perimeter wall at the north end of that project, in between the houses and the existing project.
Thank you. Do we no? I also have a speaker, Ms. Dolores Armstead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're excited to have more housing because we need it, but I only have a couple of questions. Is there, because of what happened on the houses by Medical Center in Highland, is there any way we can ensure that they are for sale and don't get converted at the last minute into rentals? We need to be able for people to purchase the houses instead of just renting. That's one question. And the next one, what is the cost? Are these supposed to be affordable? At 3,000 square feet and 2,000 square feet, that's typically not that affordable from what I understand. We're happy to get the housing, we need it, but I'm hoping that the people who need it will have access to it and it's not rentals again. First of all, is there anything legally we can do? I don't know.
I don't
know.
think so.
To
Staff?
keep it from becoming.
Is that it, Ms. Armstead? Thank you so much. Would staff like to respond, or the applicant? The applicant. Oh, did you have something else? Does she have time left? Yeah, she has 2 minutes. Go ahead. Your microphone, please.
The cost, the sales price, curious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so these homes are for sale, and they are market-priced homes for sale. I don't have an exact number now. We're too far out, depending on what the market is.
Thank you. Are there any other, Commissioner Pratt?
I know that we're way too far out to have utility plans or anything, but are there utility stubs into the property currently?
So there's a mixture. Let me give you a little bit of the history and actually call out staff and Lynn especially on this. Route 66 is actually owned by Caltrans. This is Foothill Boulevard. We're in the process, or Caltrans is in the process of upgrading Foothill Boulevard right now, and they've got a plan through 2029. So there's been some three-way discussions with Caltrans on upgrading the streets. Caltrans requirements don't match the city's requirements. And I'm sure the Planning Commission has dealt with Caltrans a little bit in the past, and they don't really care what your requirements or requests are. So it's been quite an effort cooperating between the three and trying to get everyone what they'd like, and yet deliver a nice housing project for the city and to meet the state's mandate for housing. So there are some utilities to the project. I don't have the details on stub outs and everything else at that point, though.
I guess my question, my follow-up would just be, if there are utilities that are going to involve underground directional boring, street crossings, et cetera, will the pavement reconditioning, things of that nature will that bill be footed by the developer?
I can actually, sorry, and then I'll let George go. So Caltrans is actually doing that. The water department has one connection because there's a 4-inch line on the north side of the street, an 8-inch line on the south side of the street. Water department actually has a project out for bid right now prior to Caltrans beginning, where the developer is fronting the additional cost to connect from the north side of the street to the 8-inch line on the south side of the street. We're doing that now, obviously, because Caltrans will be redoing the street and don't want to cut into the street once that's done.
Sounds like good timing.
Yeah, some of it. It's been difficult with Caltrans, to say the least.
Are there any other questions by the commission? Mr. Merrill, did you have any comments that you wanted to? No, I don't think so. Thank you. I have one follow-up question. Do you agree to all the conditions as are?
Yes, we do agree. There are a couple conditions on Public Works that need some cleaning up. We were rushing in the last minute to get this to Planning Commission. They're not of substantial issues. They're just on timing.
Can you expand?
Caltrans has control of this project. I'll just give you an example, like landscaping. We can't go in and do landscaping right now because Caltrans owns the project and they won't owns the front of the street. So we've worked it out with Public Works where we'll post a bond so that landscaping could be completed once Caltrans is done and hopefully relinquishes the property to the city of San Bernardino. So exact timing on when that will happen and amounts, and that we're working with Lynn and his department.
Thank you. Mr. Merrill.
This has been what I would consider a very challenged project because of the work that Caltrans is proposing. What they are doing is they are actually doing renovation work on Foothill Boulevard from Pepper Avenue to the 215 freeway as part of a relinquishment of the street to the city. And we have had conversations with Caltrans regarding the frontage and regarding it. And so part of the challenge on this, and we've been able to work this out with the applicant, is the timing on the landscaping along his frontage there. Caltrans intends to construct curb, gutter, sidewalk, and paving along the frontage, and it's really been a matter of timing and working with them. One of our biggest challenges was, and Mr. Elliott and I attempted early on to try to get Caltrans to allow us to underground the power poles along this stretch in order to be consistent with our design standards throughout the city. And we were met with what you can expect, a very resounding no. It's already been designed. What they will be doing is they will be moving the power poles to align with their improvements. Because this is funding that is coming from, quote, a public agency, that was one of the issues that we really had to work through, is whether or not we should require the applicant to underground. And it really was a situation where we've already had the power poles moved, and it would be kind of almost like a duplication of costs. That's one of the examples, as the applicant has indicated. The other example has been he does not control the frontage along Foothill Boulevard at this time. And so we've conditioned the project to put some conditions to ensure that if Caltrans does not proceed with the project, which they could do, that we have put conditions and bonding in there to ensure that we can get the frontage done as well, so it is an attractive project, as well as the landscaping. But this has been a very challenged project because of the work that Caltrans is doing. We actually had to develop some specific conditions of approval relating to this because we recognize that this may occur at different locations along the project length for Caltrans. So.
Thank you. I just want to confirm that those conditions are in the staff report that we're viewing.
Yes.
Thank you. If there are no further questions or comments, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 8 o'clock and entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Staff's recommendation. Is that a motion to approve staff's recommendation?
Yes, motion to approve staff recommendations. Do I need to read every?
No, we'll just say staff's recommendation. Correct. Thank you.
And I'll second that.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Commissioner Galande?
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to item number 7.
All right, Commissioners, let's bring this home. Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public. Again, my name is Angeline Mendoza, and I will be presenting item number 7 for subdivision 24-07 under tentative parcel map number 20925 and conditional use permit 23-08. Subdivision 24-09 is a request to allow the division of a parcel containing approximately 1.10 acres into 2. Parcel 1 contains approximately 0.54 acres, and parcel number 2 contains approximately 0.56 acres. The request also includes conditional use permit 23-08 to allow the development and establishment of 2 restaurants with drive-throughs. Building A contains approximately 2,500 square feet, and Building B contains approximately 2,400 square feet. This 2-part request is located on the northeast corner of West Pennsylvania Street and North Pennsylvania Avenue within Ward 6. The project site is zoned commercial general CG1 and is surrounded primarily by commercially zoned parcels. The existing vacant lot is seen on the provided aerial map. 2 restaurants with drive-thrus are a part of the project request in addition to the division of the parcel itself. Direct points of ingress and egress are proposed along North Pennsylvania Avenue and West Baseline Street. Drive-through restaurants have a required parking ratio of 1 parking space for each 100 square foot of gross floor area. So in consideration of these requirements, the site is required to have 49 parking spaces, of which the site proposes 50, in addition to a reciprocal parking access agreement. Current site conditions of the vacant pad were confirmed by a site visit earlier this month. Building A, which is approximately 2,500 square feet, is on parcel 1, and Building B, which is approximately 2,400 square feet, is on parcel number 2. This is the floor plan for Building A, or Building 1, with the floor plan of Building B, also known as Building number 2. The site itself was designed with cohesiveness in mind, proposing single-story restaurants with asymmetrical flat roofing, a central tower component, and architectural pilasters. The site is adequately landscaped at 22%, proposing a variety of trees and shrubs, including Australian coral trees, desert birds of paradise, and cat's claw vine. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-031, finding the project categorically exempt pursuant to sections 15315 and section 15303. and also approving subdivision 24-07 under tentative parcel map number 20925 and conditional use permit 23-08 based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval. Staff would like to read into the record that a typographical error in the resolution was identified with the square footages of the buildings. And Building A is situated at 2,500 square feet, with Building B at 2,400 square feet, and the studies prepared were in accordance to those square footages. Staff would also like to read into the record that after consultation with the Land Development Division, a condition for the reciprocal parking and access agreement should be added into the entitlement which was provided to the commissioners here today with that updated condition. This item was properly noticed in advance of the hearing, and at this time, we have not received any public comment to the knowledge of staff, and myself, staff, and the applicant team are available for any questions you might have.
Thank you so much. At this time, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing at 8:05 p.m. and ask the developer, Ahmad Gadiri, to speak on behalf of the project.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Planning Commission. Thank you for your time this afternoon. I'm just basically here to answer any questions. We have read the conditions of approval, no problem with compliance, and we appreciate Angeline and staff's great work helping us get to this point. So again, I'm here to answer questions, and the property owners are here as well.
Thank you. I have two speakers, so I'll go ahead and call them up first. First speaker, Mr. Patel. No. First name Mitul, last name Patel. Our second speaker is Ms. Dolores Armstead.
I see that this is two more drive-throughs, and I'm just wondering, with all the rooftops that we're building in the 6th Ward and the 5th Ward, it's a lot of rooftops. It's 138, the 99 we already have. There's some more in the drawing. Can we get a nice restaurant? Drive-throughs are great, but I think the 6th Ward deserves a nice sit-down restaurant. We got enough rooftops that'll take care of it. That's the main thing. We deserve to have something a little upscale. It's time in the 6th Ward. You got a hospital there. We've got the rooftops. They can support something nice. We deserve it. I know you can't make it happen, but can we get the word out that we are ready for something nice in the 6th Ward? It's time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments by staff for the applicant? But from the commission for the applicant or staff? Commissioner Daley.
More of a comment, and it's not speaking to this project directly, but ironically in response to the speaker now. I've been on the commission about a year or so. We've approved dozens and dozens of drive-throughs. I live in the 1st Ward. I live in downtown. I would love to be presented with a project that was an actual sit-down restaurant. You know, we are where we are. The project is what it is, and it checks all the boxes, and I get that. But more of just a, plead to the staff and to the development community that drive-throughs, I'm getting tired of approving drive-throughs. And with that, I'm happy to make a motion.
Thank you. I think we all echo that sentiment. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 8:10 p.m. and entertain a motion.
I'll move staff's recommendation.
Thank you, Commissioner Daley. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daley?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Commissioner Galande?
Yes.
Commissioner Pratt?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando Garcia?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Are there any Planning Commission reports or announcements? Are there any directors' reports?
Good evening, Madam Chair. Yes, there are.
Thank you.
The first one, which is the big one that we've been kind of talking about since the last meeting, is this thing with the certificate of occupancy. I'm going to have staff distribute this. Could you pass this to the Planning Commission, please? 4, 5, 6. How many do we need? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 6? 7. Okay. Albert has his. We have one for the public. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Extra. Thank you. So if I may continue, we took some time to, based on the comments we got from the last Planning Commission meeting, and took a deep dive into this issue. During my report of May 13, the issue of temporary COOs was brought up. The information that we provided to you at that time was incomplete because of lack of thorough research. We went back and we did some research. The document you have in front of you identifies what our findings are, and I'm going to go through them one by one. The first finding is that between 1997 and 2021, the building official issued 81 temporary COs. Of the 81, only 45 were issued final COs. So that was about a 60% completion rate. And that is attached as attachment number 1. The last COO, the last temporary COO, the last certifiable temporary COO issued by the department was in 2021, and that was issued on July 7. No temporary COOs have been issued since. The TCO presented by Commissioner Carloni was not certifiable because it did not exist in the city's records. And although, and the reason why it did not exist is because if you look at the attachments that I've provided to you, the format of the city issuing COOs is like a certificate. What Commissioner Carloni presented was something that somebody provided. Till today, we can't verify whose signature it is on that form. It is not the signature of the former director because I had payroll verify, and it's not a signature of the then building official because we have their signatures on record. Directly responding to Chair Sherrick's comments about the Public Works Department issuing certificates of occupancy, and I'm having Public Works Director Merrill actually stay behind and comment on this if necessary. I had a conversation with him, and he claims, and I believe him, that the Public Works Department does not issue COOs. A fifth finding, per section 111 of the 2022 California Building Code, only the building official can issue a COO. That is Exhibit E in your handout. Most importantly, Exhibit number F, the city adopted ordinance number 1643 that prohibits the issuance of temporary COOs. So even if you wanted to, we couldn't at this particular time. So I'm hoping that this kind of puts this matter to rest. I don't know what we were looking for, but we have spent an inordinate amount of time kind of going back in time and looking at every single database. And I think what you have in front of you provides you with all the information you need, unless you have additional questions, concerns, or whatever else. So that concludes my presentation on this matter.
Thank you. I believe I did give a specific project, and that was on the corner of Muscoobie and and Highland across from the Stater Brothers. That was a very specific project that I provided at the last meeting. And I don't believe the off-site work has been complete, yet the building is in operation. Can that be spoken on tonight?
The Public Works Director doesn't have any information on it.
So who can provide that information?
We will have that information for you at the next Planning Commission meeting, but I'm going to have Lynn take a stab at it.
I'm assuming this is the rally site?
It's a gas station.
It's a gas station.
On the same side of the street where the Dollar Tree is?
North side, give me some.
Yes, it would be the south side.
Southeast corner.
Thank you.
Southeast corner? Okay, I don't have any information in front of me tonight, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and look at that specifically and get back to the commission along with our other item that we promised.
Right, and I also would like to state that I don't believe I said Public Works issues certificates of occupancy. I said that they allow business, essentially a temporary certificate of occupancy to allow the business to function without the conditions all being met. And so that is my concern specifically with this project. So I'm not looking for anything in particular, but I would like the conditions that this body approves to be completed.
Understood.
Thank you.
Yep.
The other issue, the other questions raised was the issue regarding the number of building permits that have been issued between 2022 and 2025. The sheet that's just been provided to you kind of gives you a breakdown. Now, because of the state of our current permitting system, we can go into further detail, but it's very time consuming because each particular permit issued would have to be identified specifically and listed. And I can give you totals between 2022 and 2025, we issued a total of 17,699 permits. 1,879 permits were issued in 2025 to date. 4,460 permits were issued in 2024. 4,967 permits were issued in 2023, and 6,000 and plus permits were issued in 2022. Now, it doesn't take a philosopher to see that the 2022 numbers are much higher than subsequent years. And the reason for that is we're just coming out of the recovery from COVID, and there was a lot of boost, and then people wanted to make improvements to their properties. The numbers that you're seeing for 2024 and 2023 are actually higher than the numbers we had prior to COVID. So if the question is how well are we doing, the answer is that we're doing better than we were doing prior to COVID. But if the 2025 numbers are anything to compare, we are about the same mark as hitting the same mark as we did in the year of 2024 and the year of 2023. So I know this was an item brought forward by Commissioner Ivan Garcia. If there's anything more specific that you need, I have the document this thick that gives a listing of all the different types of permits by category. But I think that would be more exhaustive for this kind of deliberation than that. So that's where we are with this particular one.
Thank you, and I appreciate the time and efforts put into this. The only other thing that I would like to see, because I forget what city I saw, is I don't know if we could just report this on our city website under building and department.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just a simple table by year, and for this year, this period from 2022 to 25.
Absolutely, Commissioner Garcia. This is something that we would publish on a website for each department. This is also something that will be published in the department newsletters. And it is really important that we communicate to members of the public what we do so that they have an idea of what is really going through and going through our departments on an annual basis. I think it helps to boost morale for people who think, oh, all of a sudden things aren't really going very well. I can report to you that our offices are very busy. We have perhaps within the some of the big cities in the Inland Empire, our permitting office is probably one of the smallest one, but we're generating more permits and activity than Rialto and Colton, because they're telling us that things have actually slowed down, and what has slowed down on their end, we are actually picking up. So that's something good to know.
And the other thing that I had mentioned, it would be nice to see on our website if there's a project in our city and I want to know the status. For example, on Waterman and close to the 210, that commercial plaza was on a stall for, I think, over 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I was always scratching my head, what's going on with this project?
Yeah.
How do I get this information, or how is it available to?
So again, I'm going to agree with you that we do have some challenges and limitations on how we present information, that we should have a category of projects. And I think we have something slightly similar to that, that gives you a list of projects that have been approved and where they are in the process. Travis can confirm that. But going forward, I think it helps the image of the city, whereby if you are looking for, at least we should have a category that says projects under review that have recently been approved, just kind of lists them. And if you need further information, perhaps we provide you with a link that takes you to where you can get additional detail, or maybe a phone number or contact information or something of that nature. So we are working on that as well.
Again, thank you. I appreciate the time and efforts. I know it takes a lot of time to
Absolutely.
compute.
Yes. One more handout to give.
I was going to say, if I can just add to that just a little bit. I don't want to give away the game before we're done. We do have a map online right now. It was more of an economic development tool that does highlight a lot of our newer projects. It doesn't really give, it's for a separate purpose, so it gives information about projects, but not really where they stand in things. We are in the process through planning of putting together a more comprehensive kind of interactive mapping tool that will show projects in process, coming through, this or any of our other bodies, plan check, construction, things of that sort. That is something I'm hoping to have done maybe in the next few months. To be honest, it is quite a large task because we're pulling about 4 years worth of information, and it's all manual data entry and research. But I do hope to have that maybe end of summer, beginning of fall up and running. I do just want to say, though, just to set expectations on what that would be, just for practical reasons, it's going to explain things like I said, under review, scheduled for meetings, approved, construction, plan check, completed, things of that sort. More specific details, like I know which project you're talking about. I believe it's the one with the Zendejas now. That one got delayed. Something like that being on the map might show that it's approved or in plan check, and we might have a project that languishes in one of those states for some time. The way that everything is being developed and the way that we can really execute it is, if there's a question about that, then direct contact information is provided for case planners or the like. We wouldn't ever be able to put information, specific reasons, project by project. That would be up to the developers and their things. But we're hoping to have at least as comprehensive a resource as we can, so people can see everything where it is, see it across the city. There'll be, limited plan availability on there so people can see what's coming, really kind of a one-stop resource for everything.
Yeah, and I think it's just very important to highlight the state-of-the-art projects, right? Even on Tippecanoe, the U-Haul facility. Yeah. So,
and we want to, we want it for that reason. I said I'll speak personally, for my intent. It's a resource, so people know when things are coming forward to a meeting and they can see things, in advance. It helps people, yourselves, any of our elected officials, anyone that just wants to see what's coming in. You'll be able to, the way it's being developed is you'll be able to see by type of project, by ward, status of projects, all those things. But there are going to be, limitations to it. There's always something. But we think it's going to be a really great tool. And I said we're hoping to have that ballpark 3-4 months. And then, of course, we will. I'll be very happy to make an announcement when we do have that for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate the handouts. That's very useful information.
Yes,
Thank you. The last handout I just give out also has to do with a question that was raised by the planning commissioners. I don't know if it was Commissioner Orlando Garcia or Ivan Garcia regarding information regarding disposal of lead and asbestos. San Bernardino being an old city, there are homes that are and structures that were built prior to 1985. If a house was built in the 70s, chances are that it probably contained lead paint was used, or there's probably asbestos used in the construction. So when a demolition occurs, this is the information that we're going to post on the website for those who might be doing demolition work on those kinds of properties, so that when you go in, you have to be aware that if this house was built prior to a particular point in time, you may encounter lead or asbestos either in the paint or some other infrastructure pertaining to that particular property. So so lead and asbestos were once common construction materials due to their durability and effectiveness. Asbestos was extensively used in building materials, including insulation and roofing. Lead was extensively used in paint and plumbing. Asbestos began phasing out of use in the late 1970s due to health concerns, while lead paint was banned for residential use in 1978 for the same reason. Most homes built before 1980 likely have asbestos lead paint in them. For these reasons, and because some of the housing stock and other buildings in the city of San Bernardino predate 1978, the city would like to bring awareness to the potential presence of these materials and homes and other structures and provide a notice and public safety information on the handling and disposal of asbestos and lead paint when encountered in homes and other buildings. Then we'll provide you with the information for the AQMD and the other agencies that deal with some of these hazardous materials, so that as a contractor, you would be required to bring some kind of a clearance by any of those agencies before we actually issue you a permit for construction. So CDPH, Public Health Department, and the AQMD will provide you with their information and the link, and this will get posted on our website as well, in addition to whatever information that we currently have. So I'm not done yet. On a lighter note, since we have 3 new planning commissioners, the request is whether or not the planning commissioners would like to have some training like we did the last time. And I'm seeing, so Albert, I think the answer is yes. It would be best if, did we agree that it would be best if the training is done within the context of a planning commission meeting? So maybe we have a light agenda on a planning commission day, and we can have that training done so that Commissioners Pratt, Galande, and Carloni can actually, and whoever else wants to refresh.
Is this Brown at Jeopardy again?
Well, let's ask. Yeah, he's, well, right. So if you have follow-up questions, because the way Brown at Jeopardy was presented, it led to several other questions that we may not have considered at the time. So come prepared with all your questions. And I think for the new planning commissioners, it's going to be very fascinating. Additional information to pass along, we just talked about our general plan process going forward. There is a link that we have published at least 4 of the elements of the general plan already. I think it's a public safety element, the cultural resources, the utilities and facilities, and I think parks and open space, or something along those lines. But we have 4 of them. I have the website here on this piece of paper. If you want, I can email them to you directly so that you can click and just kind of follow the progress. Just to let you know, there are some other elements that are already also in waiting, so that when we get all these elements together, the biggest ones would be the land use and the circulation, and those would come in the end because they require additional work to be done, but we're getting close. So whenever you get that question about what's happening with our general plan, we're moving right along. And our goal is to bring something to the public, sometime, in the summer or the fall of 2025. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Thank you. I think we would all like that email link.
Right.
Thank you.
Great, I will do that. Commissioner Quayle's request was for us to provide information on projects that have been approved by the Planning Commission since 2022. Now, we're just going to give you whole numbers for now. There's a total of 128 projects. And I can give you a breakdown. In 2022, there are 33 projects that were approved by the Planning Commission. Now we're talking, substantial projects. In 2023, there were 35 significant projects. In 2024, there were 35. And to date in 2025, we have 25. So we're halfway through 2025, and we already have 25 projects that have been considered by the Planning Commission. If you need specific categories of what type of projects and where they are, et cetera, we are going to bring that to you the July 8th Planning Commission meeting. So you have, at least you have that information, and you can use that whatever way you intend to use them for. So let me see. I think that's all I have for Director's report. Thank you.
Thank you. And if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 8:30. Thank you.